say. I said some.
Good morning. Please join me in standing for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And here's Rory with the announcements.
Good morning, St. Johnsbury Academy. Today is Tuesday, November 8th, and it is a white day. Seniors, on Friday, you were emailed a survey requesting your measurements for your graduation cap and gown. Please be sure to sign into your STJ Labs account today to submit your form. All measurements are due by Friday. National Honor Society members, please remember that we have a mandatory full chapter meeting tomorrow in the South Church during conference period. See Mrs. Reed in guidance with any questions or concerns. Here is a joke of the day from the SJA Board Game Club that hopefully you two fans will get. What do you call Monopoly where the streets have no names? Monopoly. Wait, what? On Tuesday afternoons, still haven't found what you're looking for? With or without you, the SJA Board Games Club meets each Tuesday at 3:30 p.m. in the library conference room. Don't forget, the dodgeball tournament is this Friday. Remember, teams should consist of 6 to 8 players, and the price is $2 per person. Find some friends and sign up in the Student Life office. Show out SGJ. Brain Bee will meet today after a CP in Streeter 241. Read Chapter 6, The Developing Brain. A reminder that the Make It Better Club will meet in the library today at 3:35 to start designing our student stress-free zone. See you there. This is a reminder that the Chess Club meets on Tuesdays at the Streeter Beach. Chess Club will not be held in the library entryway anymore because after recent tournament wins, there were complaints that there were too many chestnuts boasting in an open foyer. That was funny. Science Olympiad meets tomorrow and Thursday after CP in Streeter 241. 3 events will be introduced: astronomy, the life cycle of stars; forestry, the lives of trees; and scrambler, eggs are not to be broken. Time remaining will be used to develop knowledge and skills for all events. Outing Club will meet at 3:30 today at the Rock Wall to get in some of our last outdoor climbing of the year and toss around the Frisbee. Attention all hockey players. Meet the new coach today at 3:45 in the Alumni Gym. Get a quick glimpse at the season ahead and get ready to practice on November 28th. Coach Windrow looks forward to meeting you. As a follow-up to our recent chapel talks, the Academy would like to welcome all Jewish students to a gathering at the headmaster's house this Friday from 4 to 5:30 p.m. Whether you are religious or not, highly connected to a larger Jewish community or not, we welcome you to our Jewish community. Come share food, stories, and each other's company. See Mr. Weiss in Colby 209 if you have any questions. Are you California dreamin'? Do you love adventure, the sun, and exploring beautiful landscapes? If you answered yes to any of these things, then you should come see Miss Dickinson, Mr. Lejeune, and Mr. Holden, along with some awesome students to sunny Lake Tahoe, California, this coming June. We have a couple of spots left and would love to have you join us. It would be great to hear from you before Thanksgiving break, so come find one of the faculty mentioned above, ASAP. Attention tennis club members, we will meet in the field house tomorrow from 4 to 5:15. Math team will meet today for round 1 of the ASMA Challenge League in Severance 15 at 3:45 p.m. Next week, we will meet on Tuesday for the AMC 10/12. Be there or be squared. The American Ballet Theater Studio Company will perform this Sunday, November 13th at 7 p.m. at the Linden Institute Auditorium. Mrs. Harabi has complimentary tickets available for students interested in attending this wonderful concert. Interested students should add their names to the sign-up sheet attached to the dance studio door, Morse 101. Please check with Ms. Harabi in Morse 101 if you have any questions or would like more information. Happy birthday today to Quinn Zhu, James Linney, and Luke Steele. Happy birthday. That's all, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you, Rory. We have a late announcement. The Academy chess team competed over the weekend at the Vermont State Fall Tournament. Eric Chen and Kanan Gasimov led the team and tied for 6th place. Max Weber took 12th, and Griffin Lawson rounded out the scoring with a 14th place finish among all high school competitors in Vermont. Congratulations. Good job, guys. Please meet Mr. Legge out on the front steps of Fuller immediately after chapel for your photo. So happy Tuesday, everyone. Today is Election Day across the United States, including here in Vermont. I see some cheers in the balcony. That's great. So don't forget to vote for a senator, representative, state representatives, state senator, governor, lieutenant governor, sheriff, secretary of state, and several bills that will have a big effect on people's lives. Voting happens at the Welcome Center down in the town until 7 p.m. today. So if you're registered, please don't forget to vote. These are critical times for us to participate in choosing who will represent us when important choices are being made in the state and federal legislatures. Totally unrelated, this morning we had a total lunar eclipse called a blood moon because it made the moon look red, which I hope some of you may have seen. The blood moon has traditionally been seen as a sign of the apocalypse. Since then, since I asked folks to share the people who they would like to have up here on the stage, we've seen a lot of those people, and we've seen a lot of those things happen. So we've seen a lot of music, we've seen faculty members who you requested, and one of the faculty members that many of you hoped to hear from was Chef Hale. So after a brief promotion by Mr. Arain, you're going to hear from Chef Hale right after the apocalypse. All right, Mr. Arain, please welcome Mr. Arain to the stage.
Morning, everybody. Not so sure that lunar eclipse has nothing to do with the election, but who knows? We'll find out, maybe. At any rate, hi, I'm Mr. Arain. I direct the Colwell Center. Please do indeed go out and vote. If you're watching the elections, sometimes you might think our voices really don't count for much, but so many elections are really closely contested this year across our country, and that should remind us that every vote does indeed count. Before I get into my proper announcement, I do want to just do a quick plug for my Model UN Club. Folks, please do really show up today. We want to try and decide who is going to take on what delegate roles at an upcoming conference in December. So if you show up, that will help us toward that end. The real reason I'm up here this morning is to announce an evening event. This evening at 7 o'clock in the Mayo Center, the Academy will be joined by Dr. Melissa Willard Foster. She is an associate professor of political science at the University of Vermont, and she is the author of a book entitled Toppling Foreign Governments: The Logic of Regime Change. Her book explores the question of why stronger nations overthrow governments when they could attain their aims at the bargaining table. In her book, she analyzes 133 instances of regime change, ranging from covert operations to major military invasions and spanning over 200 years of history. Dr. Willard Foster holds degrees from Georgetown University, the University of Chicago, and UCLA. She teaches classes in international security and foreign intervention, and she will, of course, spend some time this evening talking about Russia's invasion of Ukraine, as that is also an instance of attempted, at least, regime change. So we would be delighted to have you join us. If you need to go vote, do that first, and then come and join us at 7 o'clock this evening. Again, she'll be talking about why it is that countries overthrow other governments, and then, again, a great opportunity to hear about what's been happening in Ukraine and understanding the rationale of Russia and Putin's actions in this war, and to hear it from somebody who has an academic rigor that perhaps we're not used to hearing in the news. So again, that's 7 o'clock tonight in the Mayo Center. I would be delighted to see you there. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Arain. And now please give a warm welcome to Chef Hale.
Well, I hope to have you all on the edge of your seats, proclaiming that it's a beautiful day. If you walk away, I will follow. It's a wrong speech. Let's start again. Anyone who has spent more than 15 minutes with me knows that I have a story for everything. Longtime colleagues avoid me in the hallway. They rush through their meals to not be trapped in 10 minutes of seemingly endless tales. Special recognition goes out to Mrs. Libby, who for 10 years sat through countless ramblings, many repeated again and again. Thankfully, for her sake, I won't be speaking about Easter eggs, mice, or cats riding on the roof of a car, although that's a really good story. I was raised on a small farm in Massachusetts. My mother was born into Boston high society, culminating in a dance with John F. Kennedy at her debutante ball. She hated every minute of it. She tossed that life aside. She divorced a man, her first husband, who was a Harvard man, and married my father, who was raised poor in Western New York. My mom became a farmer. She did everything. She built the barn, she sheared the sheep, spun the wool, knit the sweaters, milked the goats, made the cheese. She did everything. My mom was a wonder. She was the president of the National Pygmy Goat Association and the author of a book about goats that still sells today. She gets royalty checks. The last one was $1.34, which is not too bad for a book that's 40 years old. My father was an actor, a writer, and most notably a bookseller. He ran Hathaway House Bookshop all through my childhood. He developed a nationally recognized author series for Wellesley College. My parents hosted dinner for the participants, filling our home with interesting people from around the world. I taught a Nigerian prince how to use a lawnmower, and he proceeded to purchase and ship 20 toros home to his palace. I was witness to the evolution of David Macaulay, from a little-known illustrator to a world-famous author. My father had a knack for finding just the right books for his customers. This skill led him to making selections to stock the residence library at the White House. President Carter and his wife, Roz, wrote my dad thoughtful notes about many of his selections. President Reagan requested the entire Louis L'Amour series, and that was it. On a trip to Washington, D.C. during that time, I met Julie Andrews in an elevator, Dan Rather at lunch, and Dick Cavett in a men's room. And that was all in the same day. As a fourth grader, that was pretty cool stuff. My mom was an excellent cook, and I enjoyed helping her in the kitchen. It was never anything fancy, but her meals were always fresh and delicious. I was a weird kid. For my 11th birthday, I got a Weber charcoal grill. I cooked the Thanksgiving turkey on that grill for many, many years. My sophomore year at UMaine, I lived in a house with 10 other people. Sitting around the fire in August, I put up an idea. If everybody chips in $20, I'll do the shopping, and I'll prepare 5 dinners a week. I'd get to do no dishes. I had no idea what I was doing, but I found my calling at the Stagger Inn. The stories of that year would make a hilarious, poignant, and completely inappropriate movie that could never be made in this day and age. That summer, I worked at the Windsor House Inn as the first male salad girl. I was teased mercilessly, but I loved every minute of the chaos in my first professional kitchen. I was fortunate to play on many great teams with many great coaches. As a career bench warmer, these experiences shaped me, particularly as I worked my way into better kitchens. I was a pretty good cook, but I was a better teammate and eventually a respected leader, most notably as the executive chef at a prestigious hotel in the Napa Valley. My ADHD didn't hold me back. In fact, it allowed me to hear all and see all that was happening in my kitchen. They call it multitasking when you get to that point. It's a skill, okay? We served dozens of celebrities at the time. Patrick Stewart was charming, Madonna, not so much. I was the top of my profession. There were a couple of major problems. I was working 100 hours a week. I never saw my wife awake. And while I loved my kitchen crew, cooking elegant meals for the hyper-wealthy was not my calling. Teaching was the answer. First at New England Culinary Institute, and then for the past 13 years here at St. Johnsbury Academy. Working with countless young people, preparing thousands of meals, I'm quite sure that building on the story is equally important to the lesson in the moment. For me as a teacher, but more importantly, for you as the students. You have to trust me on this. Okay, your story is not coming from tick face or snap talk. Your story will only build when you truly engage in your life and all that is going on around you. Make mistakes, laugh at yourself, grow, celebrate, commiserate. By putting yourself out there, you will experience depths of emotion, bursts of joy, as well as heartache. This is all part of your story. Every time someone tells you to put away your phone, there should be a little tug at your soul. What did I miss? The world is a massive, complex, terrifying, and wonderful place. Be in the moment, not on your phone. So, I've prattled on here for 5 minutes. Faculty eyes are rolling, those in the know. Many of your classmates are saying, "Chef, what the hell's the point?" I have one more story. My father read the obituaries every day. He told me once that everyone, whether they are famous or not, has a story. I had this in mind when I wrote his obituary in 2013, actually right around this time. One of my father's favorite authors found me at his memorial service and said something that continues to resonate. Your father believed in me more than he believed in my books. Your father inspired me to tell my story. Please know that you are surrounded by people right here in this hall who love you and believe in you. Allow yourselves to be inspired. I'm excited to hear your stories, and of course, happy wreath season. Thanks very much.
Thank you so much, Chef Hale. I didn't know any of those stories. What a cool guy. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Faculty,